Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have solved some of the problems of the past question paper of French certification exam of Delhi University, and today we are on problem number 10. So let's start it, and if you have not watched the other video of the series, then do watch them. We have already solved problem 11 to 17 in the last videos, and we'll try to address from 1 to 10 in this one, since the exam is near the corner. So let's try to finish it off soon. So let me just grab my pen and start working on it. So yeah, all right. So it says we have to complete, so complete it. This is I have, okay. Yeah, this I already mentioned is stand for with, and then it says adjective, interrogative, with these given to us. So basically what happened is we need to actually fill these up in these five boxes. It is of 5 marks, and based on how exactly this works, we are going to get 1 marks. So what I'll do, I'll explain how adjective, interrogative work, and for that let me just go to the board. So here we are, and let me just grab a pen. So basically in French we call it la adjective, interrogative. So basically the questions ask about things. So that's why we call them interrogative. So in English also we have interrogative adjectives, which usually ask what is happening, what is going on. Similar to that, in French we have interrogative. So for French, we when have to say what or which, we usually used kill. So it's written it's like this. Okay, it means what or which in French. Okay, so now the thing is, this adjective has some rules. So basically, this adjective has to agree with the gender and the number. Agree with the gender. So basically, it means that for males we have different adjective, and for females we will have different, and it also need to go with the number. So if it's plural, then we have different, and if it is not, then we have different. Okay, and with the noun it modifies. So basically, whatever the gender or the plural, it depends on the noun, and with the noun it's actually changes. So this is why we had four interrogative there, and we have to fill in the five statements, because it changes with the noun. Okay, and we have to make sure that it agree with the gender and the number. So what I'll do, I will just write down the table how exactly it works. So when I say number, it simply means it could be either singular or plural. And when I say gender, it simply means it would be either masculine or feminine. So masculine stand for man and feminine stand for female. So if it is singular and it is masculine, then we usually use kill. And kill stand for what or which. And if it is singular and it's a female, then we write kill. So it actually it's just change of the spelling. So if you notice here, we have el for male and il for female in French. This same il is actually working here. Okay. All right. So now comes to plural. So plural is quite easy. We just put an s here, and when it comes to female, it is again quite easy. So we just add an s here also. So if female group comes up, then we just remember that it is going to be il and s because it's a group. And if it comes to male, then we just have to remember that it is going to be q and s again because it's a group. So now things are pretty easy with this. Let me just add another word to explain further. It says that we generally use scale in some specific cases. So, what exactly those cases are? Before a noun. So, when a noun is there, we generally add kale. So, what exactly nouns stand for? Nouns stand for place, thing, animal. So, what animal is this? So, if I have to say it in French, because I had to add what, so I'll add kill and then the noun. Alright. Similar is the case in second. So it is usually add before the être verb. So être verb is basically to be something. It means to be like what do you want to be or something. So it means to be. So you can write kill plus the être verb and then the noun. So this is how exactly the questions are made. Similar is the case the other one. It is added after a preposition. So what actually happens when you have a preposition? Then you first of all have preposition, then you have your kill, and post that you just add a noun. So this is how exactly you make interrogative questions or statements in French, and this is the rule behind it. Now, one thing to note here is this QUEL kill is different from QUEQ. Okay, Q is a pronoun and kill is adjective. This is very important to remember. So when kill is come, it is an adjective and it modifies your noun. While Q actually take the place of your noun because it's a pronoun. Okay. So never made this kind of mistake while making sentences. So it can also be remembered like this that can ask for identification. Remember in just above see your second one here it says before the atre verb. So quel atre noun. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? It's asked for identification or choice of possibilities. So choice of possibilities, the options available. But Q does not do that. Okay, the form match the noun it describes, not the subject of the sentence. In case of kill, the form actually match the noun. So form matches the noun. noun and not the subject of the sentence. So sentence can be comprised of your noun and the subject, but cal actually matches the noun. That is why it is important. Okay, so with this I think we can start with the question. So let me just hide open board and move to the problem. I'll just do this and we are here. Let's begin solving this up. All right, so let us read the first one. It says blank one idea LR. So this stand for she. Now this one is quite interesting. I'll just come to this one. It says both, so it means good. Both mean good. L means she. This is ideas. Okay, remember ideas. There is an S. So ID stand for idea, and because there is an S, it makes ideas. Now the statement is what ideas she has, like what good ideas she has. So it is talking about plural. This is very important to remember. And now this is female. So I told you here actually il is there. Il is there, and this is for female. And because we have to write here a female one, we have two options: kill, killed, and because here is s, we will choose the second one. So remember, if you just made this kind of mistake, that idea, you will remember l, what exactly l is, what this one is for boy and this one is for girl. So you will remember that. The important part is to remember that here you have to use plural or singular. Okay, let's move to the next one. It says problems. Again, notice the S. So it means plural. It says is, that means boys group have. So what problems they have? So all the problems, we are talking about plural. So I will use this one and we will write it here. QUELS. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. It says blank is votre numero de teléfono. So basically, what is your telephone number? This is quite interesting. What is your telephone number? Now I don't know whether I should put what actually he is talking to, a boy or a girl. But important thing here is this noun numero. Now this stand actually, what is your phone number? This stand for male, and it stand for male. And another thing is it is actually your singular. So male singular and masculine singular basically I have to use. So I'll just write cute. So you need to remember the noun also, what exactly noun is here. Then it says they blank colure isla weather. Now this stand for your car. Okay, car. And basically it is asking what color is your car, what is the color of your car. Okay, but important point here is that car is masculine or feminine, you need to know that. Now I tell you, in exam this is the trick. It does not work 100% of the time, but still 60 to 70% of the time it will work. So car is masculine or feminine, if I don't know, then it comes from here, that in Hindi you call a car is a gaadi. गाड़ी आ रही है, that simply means we are modifying it according to the noun. Now the thing is car is feminine because गाड़ी is feminine. I'm just connecting the dots to the native language. So based on that I'm actually guessing it. So it comes to female now, and because car is a singular, So I'll just put here, and it was also supposed to be something like this here because I had already utilized all my three options here, so I was expecting it. But still, that is not a good way to guess. The good way is to actually connect it to your language, understanding what noun is, and remembering that noun is going to be modified based on the gender and the number. All right. So next one is at blank huur. So basically, a blank huur wo lavez-vous. So basically, this is used for you get up. So basically, it says at what time you get up. Now he's again asking a question, and I don't know what exactly he is talking to, a male or female, but at what here you get up, and here is basically your time. Okay, time now exactly in French is your feminine and it's singular. Okay, here actually you cannot make a guess based on native language also, because in native language you will ask तुम कितने बजे उठे थे, या तुम कितने बजे उठा था, या तुम कितने बजे उठी थी, sort of this. But problem is this is not going to help you out because it's talking about time. So the best part is you must remember what exactly it is, and for this question I'll tell you it comes to Q only. But just in case if you don't know in exam what exactly you have to put, then it just wild guess actually. You just have to mark the options based on what you have utilized above and whatever is left one. So basically it's a hit and trial guess. If you don't know what exactly hue is, basically you don't know if it is masculine or feminine, then probably you might get this one wrong. But the best part is you'll still get at least four correct, and this one is the most scoring question in grammar since it's quite easy to actually work this out. All right, so let us read the ninth one now. It says two-way la question. So basically, in the following question, auxquel. So basically, it means auquel means to which. So it says to which the. So la is the most is word. The word solines. So basically, underline, and are the response. So response is basically response. So and this is actually a verb. So it stands for to work. So it's basically work around the questions with the underlined word. Okay. So we have to actually make questions based on the underlined word for this. So in French there is actually a concept and format to actually ask a question. So what it wants is that we do use the inversion rule and then make a question based on the underlined word for this one. Okay, so let's move to the board and I'll show you how exactly that works, because it's a very important topic and it is of 5 marks but quite very complicated also. So the good part is question number 10 is quite easy. The bad part is question number 9 is very tough. So let's move there and I'll show you how exactly we can work on this. So let's get started with that, and I just close this and we'll come here. I will add a new page, and here I'll just write uh, question. Okay, let me change the color of the pen. So yeah, I'll just write questions. So basically what happened is in French there are specific word related to question. So let me just write down those for you. The first one is Q, and just in case the next one word after this is starting with vowel, then in that case we use contraction rule, and this actually stand for what. So you just saw in interrogative also we have your QUEL, and there itself I told you that this QUE is very different from QUEL. So this one is for pronoun, and that one actually telling you with your noun what exactly the quality is. Okay, so basically that one asks for identification. Now what actually happens that when you have to say what, then it is actually in context of the direct object. So what do you want? Okay, suppose I am holding a ball and you are asking for it and I don't want to give that ball, then usually I say no. What do you want? That simply means Q. What? Okay. The next one is Q, and this also starts with what? I know this one is tough, but you have to remember this, and it's generally come after your preposition. So in English also we use what in different circumstances, and this is how it used in French also. So if it comes after preposition, then it has to be QUOI, and if it has to come with the direct object context, it's QUE. Now you also have QUI, and this QUI stand for who, and it is asked for people. In case I have to say someone got my examination form stamped, then maybe my friend will ask who, so they can say Q. Okay, that is how it is used. Then the next one is como. So basically this stand for how. So how it's working, como. Okay, it basically talks about the manner, means, basically asking about the process. So this is how this word is used. Then another one is who, and it stands for where. So my, where is your examination sector? Who? Okay, where. So it is asking the place. Similarly, we have qua. Qua is basically QUAND, and it stands for when. So it's basically talks about your time. Then I can also say a cule your. Now you must remember that your is actually your feminine, and when I say a cule, it means at what time. So you generally, if you have some place where you want to give, you say oh, and then you say ocular, which place and at what time. Okay, where and what time. So it generally is used in case of specific time, to be precise. Then there is a word combi. Combia is basically how many, how much. So if I have to ask how many euros I have to pay or how much this cost. So cost is kute. Then you say combia kute, how much. Okay, it basically tells about the quantity of the item or probably the euro you want to give. So this way. Now this combia can also be used with the themes. And remember, whenever there is temps, it actually related to the time period. Okay, so if I say combien de temps, that simply means how long. So if I want to ask how long the examination will be, I can say combien de temps. Okay, let me just erase this here. How long? Okay, and this is basically in case of duration. Then there is last one, which is your pourquoi. So POURQUOI, and this stand for why. So suppose you want to meet someone, then you say why do you want to meet you, or why you want to meet. So pourquoi, and when you say about meeting, is basically rencontre. So pourquoi rencontre, reason. So basically, when you have to ask a reason, you use why or you use pourquoi. So this one is the first one, which is actually stand for what, and you use it in context of direct object. So you need to remember the spelling, and you need to remember this direct object, and you also need to remember its meaning. That is what. Similarly, for the second one, you again have to remember the spelling, which is QUOI. You have to remember it stand for what, and you have to remember it comes after preposition. So this is only used in case of questions. If it is not in terms of question, if it is asking about the identification, then this QUE is different from what I told you, QUEL. You need to remember that. Then the third one is your QUI, which stand for who. Sorry, QUI, which stand for who, and this usually used in case of people. Then you have the fourth one, which is comma, and this is used for saying how, and it talks about the manner or the means. Then you have the fifth one, which say who, and it talks about where and about the place. Then comes the sixth one, which stands for when. It talks about when and the time. Then comes the seventh one, eqular, at what time, and it talks about the specific time you want to ask about. Eighth is your combien. It talks about how many or how much. It talks about the quantity. Your ninth one is combien de temps, which means how long or the duration. And your tenth one is pourquoi, why, basically asking the reason. So when you read those sentences, the five sentences we had in the question, you have the underlined word also with you. You just need to remember whether this is talking about the direct object. If it is talking about direct object, then I have to talk about Q. If it is talking about what but in context of after proposition, then I have to use QUI. If it is talking about people, then I have to use QUI. If it is talking about the process, then I have to use comma. If it is talking about the place, then I have to use OU accent. And if it is talking about the time, then I have to use quan. And if it is talking about a specific time, then I have to use a cul your. And if it is talking about the quantity, then I have to use combien. So COMBIEN. And it is, if it is talking about the duration, then I have to write combien the temp. And if it is talking about the reason, then I have to use pourquoi. All right. So if you remember this, then it gets easier to actually address this question. Let me add a new board and teach you further about this because it's a very important concept. All right. So there are some format rules also to form questions. So I'll just write question format rules. And these rules are actually going to help you how exactly understand questions are done in French. So first one is your intonational. So basically it based on your intonation. Okay. So it's basically informal and it simply means raising your voice at the end of statement. So when you are giving any statement and you raise your voice at the very end, it simply means it's a question. Okay, in French. So how it works? So suppose I met someone just now and I'll say bonjour, ça va. That means I just raise my voice. The way my accent goes or the way my face expressions goes, on that basis, you can decide whether it's a question or not. So it's a intonational way of basically asking a question. But more formal is adding SCQ. So basically, SCQ is usually added before the statement, and this actually help in the question. So when you add acute, so basically it shows that it's a question. So in English also we like, do you have a pen, or I just have to ask, you have a pen. So you have a pen is also a question, and do you have a pen is also a question. Similarly, SAQ is added in place of do, is for helping out with the word, for getting the question accurate. Okay. Then another thing is reverse the subject and verb connected by the hyphen. So if there is a subject and a verb and they are connected by hyphens, we just reverse them and this forms the question for us. So just to tell you how this works, I'll give you some special cases examples also, because what actually happens that these three rules do work, but for inversion there are special cases also where they actually don't work. That's why I said this one is quite a little complicated topic as compared to others in grammar. So let me just write down. For inversion rule, there exist special cases as well. And what are these cases? Let's discuss that. So the first one is with a vowel while doing inversion, we add T. And this is done for making pronunciation better in French. So let me just write that down first. Then I'll give you how exactly the it works with an example also. So we add T for pronunciation. So suppose we have given L a demande, and here if you see it is basically she asked for something. So suppose I have to make this as a question. Now let's go back here and see what can be used from here. So I think this one, which talks about a specific time, I can use a from there. So I'll write a, and then I just have to add t. This t always come with separation from hyphen, so I just added that. Then I can write il, and I can write demand. So what exactly she demanded? L are demanded. She asked for something. What exactly she asked for something? Okay. Then there is second one with a noun, subject, repeat, subject as pronoun. So what exactly it means that with a noun we have to so repeat subject as pronoun. So just give me, let me have a red pen here. Yeah. So with a noun subject, so basically this subject which is coming as a noun, we simply repeat this as a pronoun, and this makes it a question. So let me give you an example of this one also. So suppose we have here la fille won't au cinema. So this basically telling that the group went for a movie. So if I have to just make this as a question, what I have to do, I just have to see that I told you you can reverse the subject and the verb. So this is the subject, this is the verb. So how you do it? You just write la fille vont, and I have to connect them with the hyphen. So I write hyphen here vont aller au cinéma. So if you see here, I just made it with the noun subject and subject as a pronoun. So my subject was this. I just made a pronoun of it. Okay, and that's why when I made it a pronoun, this L also came up. Okay. Now there is one more case before that we move to the question. So with the question words, what we do. So so we what we so we start with the question word. So suppose I have who was Q, or say suppose I have comma ale wo. Okay. Now this one stand for where. Where were you? And this one how ale wo. How to go. Okay. So this is how we started, right? And let me write one more. A Q, here Come the L. Okay. Now I'll explain. So this one is where we are starting with the question word. Similarly here, how to go there, we are starting with the question word. And AQR, I also told you this is for a specific time. Kometa LA. So at what time we start comments. Okay. Remember the most question word which are generally I believe would be coming in exam. I'll just give you a brief of them. So it could be Q, which means what, and I believe this will come in context of your direct object. Then there is come, stand for how, and I believe this can also come. Then there is a cure, here. This stand for at what time. Then your next one is combia, how many, how much, and then the last one which is Makoi, so it stands for why. So 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 now the thing is this these are the ones I think are important. But if you have time and you can remember all these, then it's really good. Otherwise, you should remember these at least because these are the most expected ones. But I'll say that for safe side, you should remember all of these because they give you a broader chance of getting to the right answer. All right. So let's move to the question now and we'll try to solve that one. I'll just hide open board and I'll come to the problem set. Okay, so let me just read it one more time. With okay, one thing I just realized. Let me change the color. This is not to work. This is to find. So this should be find. The one which stand for work is basically your Travaille. Sorry for that, my bad. But yeah, it is to find. So it says find the question to which the words underline the response. So basically we have to make it a question. We have to find the way these can be put up as the questions. All right, so let's work around them. So it says la, that means she demanded, that means ask for pleasure model. So basically she's asking for the pleasure model. Now the thing is here we have ill as basically underline. So because it's an underline verb and it is acting as a person, as the subject of the sentence. So to ask who did something, if I'll say, then it's she's the one. So if I'll just go to the board one more time and see, we had these options available. Now because L was there as our subject, so if I'll say in asking the question who did, so for who we have QUI here. So I will just go back and I know what exactly has to be the answer here. Then it should be QUI. Now we have to put this as a correct way of question. So let's write QUI who, and then who demande. So I write this demande, and then plus use. So plus is basically used in French for more, and this is for models. So now this is correct. Okay, let's move to the next one. It says no. No means we. Ano. So we ano. Our bureau, that is here basically stand for the office in metro. That means the subway. So the subway. So we went for the office from the subway. So now we have to actually ask this as a question. So we have here the subway as the one which is marked. So how did you came to office? This should be my question, because it says no allow to office metro by the subway, right? So my question should be again based on that. How did you commute? So it should describe the method or the manner of the transportation. So when I talk about the method or manner, what was the word? Uh, so if you see the fourth one here, it says the manner or the means. Come on. So you have to write this one. Then I'll just go back, come here. I know that I had to write from Como. Now, how exactly I should fall for me? So suppose I just write here Como. Then I have to ask Hali who, because see, it is talking about we, but I have to talk to the group. So I'll just write who, and because it's ano, I'll with who it comes ale. So basically, nu comes with ano and who comes with ale. So I'll have to write that, and then I have to say oh bureau, because I have to ask to office. So manner I am asking how you came to office. How you came to office. That is why I have to use comma here. Okay. Let's read the next one. J commence a travel at 9 hours. So basically, he started for work. So I was talking about this word. I just was talking about this word. This word. Instead of to find, I just thought it's this word. That's why I write to work. But somehow I have corrected this. So remember, I can also make mistakes sometimes. But anyways, it's my bad. I should have taken more care of it. Anyway, so it says J commence a travail at New York. So J started for work at this hour. So now we know this. It is talking about the specific hour. So this one is quite easy. You just have to write a should lay you. This definitely you know, because okay, H E A. Okay, let me just get an. Yeah. So HEURE, and then I just have to write commences, and then Theo a thriller. So at what hour you started? Okay, that's why the person is saying no. I started for work at 9 hours. J commence. That's why. Anyway, let's move to the next one. So even if you don't know how exactly the other ones are solved, third one I think definitely you will be able to. Okay, so it says no patro these hours. So how many days you are leaving for? So this should be my question because this says we patro means we are leaving or we are staying 10 Jews. Jews is basically a day. So it says we are staying for 10 days. So there should be a question for how many days you are staying. And for how many days, when I say it simply means your total duration, right? So when I am talking about the duration, we just saw that we use combia. So I'll just say combia the temps because this is very specific for the duration. So combia the temps, and then because it says for leaving, so partes, since it's nowhere, so that's why I'm putting ez because it comes with the wo. So partes, okay. And the last one is no longer ala hotel. So it says we are living in a hotel. So staying, resting, reste, they are basically stand for this longio. We are staying in a hotel itself. So specifically, the question should ask, where are you staying? That where is basically coming from OU. So OU is here now. Now the thing is, it says no, so pretty sure it is going to be EZ here and then hyphen and here. Alright. So U longe who. So where are you staying? Now let me just change. Yeah. Now the thing is, you need to remember that this is very important. This is very important. This is very important. Combi is very important. O is very important. Even if you cannot make the complete sentence in some of the cases, you still need to at least write the word against the underlying word, what exactly should be the starting part of the question. And also remember this, that when in most cases we have no, no, j, no, so these were the four sentences where we knew that it has to be coming against who. Who is basically used for your you as well and for the group as well. So it came against that. And this one actually has LA, even if this had ill. So we did not need to change here. We just need to ask a question with starting with QUI, that is who. So that makes little easy to actually complete the sentence when you notice how the patterns in actually moving. Okay, but still, just to tell you that it is always better to actually write the exact word even if you are not able to actually make the current sentence, because that will still give you some marks. All right, so I'll just move back to the board and again tell you that you still need to remember q stand for your what, and it comes in the direct object. QUI stand for what, and it comes after preposition. So fortunately we did not get a question related to QUI or Q. Otherwise I this is quite very difficult to deal with, and you need to know the exact sentence and then as whether it is coming with the direct object or after preposition. Fortunately, we did not get that. We got a simple one which stand for QUI, who, and then These are most common. You just remember that when it comes to finding out the process, then comma is used. When it comes to the place, OU is used. When it comes to finding out the time, then quant is used. Specific time it comes, AQLR is used. So what we did not saw, I just mark that. And the combia is how much or how many. Then combia the terms comes for the duration, and pourquoi comes for why. Now just let me increase the intensity. Yeah. So remember that this one does not came in the exam last 2024. This one does not came, and then your when does not came, your exact quantity does not came, pourquoi does not came. These five were not there. So chances are you might have to come across these also. But I think you will be able to deal with this since you have understood the complete way of solving this up. All right, I think this video is getting quite longer now. So what I'll do, I'll just make another video for the rest of the question, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, make sure that you, if finding these videos helpful, then you write a comment below this video and let me know that it is helping you out. Otherwise there is no use of making these videos. I can rather stop making it and study for the exam. But I thought maybe this will be helpful too for you as well as the other people who will be going to come up in the next session in the next years, because there is nothing on YouTube related to this way of solving questions, and it's very difficult to actually learn on your own. But still, if there is no motivation related to it, then there is no use of making this. So just let me know in the comment section. Otherwise I'll just make one more and then I'll stop it, because if people are not interested, then it's no use of doing this stuff. Anyways, thank you for watching, and yeah, bye.